So now that you made it to town, have you hit Keith up on that Floridian support?
Man, hold on a second. Let me get myself together over here. What we got? Hold on a second.
Yeah, you can keep it on the left. All right.
Yo, hello?
Yep.
Okay, we good?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Nah, man, I didn't hit him up yet. I might run by, the way in, see what's going on. Because, I got a great relationship with both of the guys. But, of course, Keith. Keith, that's my guy.
He grew up with you, though, basically, right?
Yeah, he grew up with me.
How old was he when you first met him?
Man, I was, I was sparring Keith. He is a little boy, too. I've known Keith since he started, since he's been seven
Wow.
years old. Yeah, so I seen the little young boy, coming up, under Ben Getty, and I knew he was gonna be that. You know what I mean? So once he, really started running through the amateurs, and then I made that call to Al, like, Al, listen, we got this. We got.
Oh, you made the call.
We got another killer.
Oh man, look at that.
Florida.
We get the scoop every day.
Big scoop.
Word. That's official. So is that a role that you're considering now? Life after being an active boxer, would you consider signing fighters or guiding fighters, or is that not for you?
Yeah, definitely, man. I think, with all the experience that I've had, throughout the years, and of course, like good 19 years in now as a professional. I've been through everything. The ups and downs. I've gotten a lot of money. I've been around a lot of the entertainment, area as well, and just everything in general. I pretty much experienced it, and I think a lot of the kids now, they know that. And at the same time, they still, respect the fact that I'm still here, thriving. And I think that's one thing when it comes to a lot of these young guys, man. A lot of these, older champions that they've watched throughout the years, they've seen, get beat up and, look dusted up and look like they lost it all and all this and that. And, they kind of, push that to the side. But somebody, like myself and others, they reach out to and really want to, really want a lot of advice and, throughout their career. So I think I might.
How do you deal with, I guess, the constant barrage of people asking you to help them get an opportunity? You being a fighter, yo, can you make a call for Al? Can you help me get on a card? Do you deal with that a lot? And how do you deal with it?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely deal with it a lot. At the end of the day, man, I know Al's a businessman. And if I don't see, if I don't see, that thing in you, if I don't see that, that real, determination in you, those skills in you, those, that potential to be, that world champion, it's no really it's not, I really don't want to waste his time so much, when it comes to that. But I definitely give a lot of advice, but I definitely get a lot of calls on stuff like that. Sure.
What was it specifically that you seen in Thurman that made you make that call?
Man, he was just hungry. He was smashing everything in Florida at the time. I think he was like ranked number 2 or 3 in the country. And just me, myself, man, I know the pro game, and I know, what the people, want to see. And I know he had great skills, but he had, tremendous power as well. And I know he was going to be one of those guys that was going to be a, big crowd pleaser. And, he ended up, I was right, huh?
You brought up the power, man. One of our callers, he just called in. He's from out here in California in the West Coast, CYP. Went through Keith's resume, man. The last 7 fights, he's only had 1 knockout.
Yeah.
So I thought power was the last thing to go. And that you being a puncher, you can obviously tell us better. Like, does he still have it?
We got to see. We got to see, man. It's one thing with this fight game, bro. As you continue to going up in competition, you're fighting guys now, man. You're at the elite level. Not everybody's going to go as easy. You know what I'm saying? You have to really, game plan and strategize while you're in there, really try to break your guy down, So, that's why we're here, man. That's why we're here, this weekend to see what's going to happen. He's been out for 2 years. And, I've been telling everybody at the same time, man, Mario Barrios, you doing yourself a disservice if you sleeping on him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, he's a killer. And, of course, he came off the loss with Tank. But before that, you know, he was smashing everything, knocking everything out. He's a great boxer. You know, he's tall, he's long, has great, boxing IQ. He can punch. But now he's able to get filled up, at 147 pounds. Like I said, I've been in camp with him. I know how much he's been killing himself to make 140. So to be able to be, with great energy at 147 pounds, and like I said, he comes to get you. So, like I said, we got to see. And just like you saying, like I said, Keith hasn't been showing that type of power lately. If Keith can't hurt him, it may be a problem.
I got a super chat here from Mr. Steal Your Chin out of Baltimore. He says, thank you, Berto, for the Tank love, champ. I've been rocking with you for years.
So y'all keep making me feel like I'm old, man. Am I old out here?
Nah, man.
Oh, man, I look good.
What, you 33?
Nah, I'm 30. Hold on, 38 now.
Oh.
He said, oh.
Yeah, I mean, because you're not old as a person, but boxing wants to make people old at 38.
Oh, for sure.
40. It's like, oh shit, he's 40. Man. Can he be B-Hop? Can he do what B-Hop did or what George Foreman did?
For sure.
I mean, actually, that's a headline. Like winning a belt after 40 is what, 2 men?
Yeah.
And I think it's just B-Hop and Floyd.
Yeah, it gotta be more than that, no?
I mean, I thought that was the whole. Oh, George Foreman.
Yeah,
he was the first. He was the first.
Was he the first, or he was just
one of the most glorified? Maybe.
I know he was the oldest heavyweight.
He's the oldest heavyweight champion.
Okay, so that's what it was. I thought it was he won that belt after 40. First one to win the heavyweight belt after 40.
No, I think he's the oldest heavyweight champion.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Nonetheless, they've been rocking out with you for a minute now, champ.
Yes, sir, man. I've been, man, it's been a wild ride. I love it. It's been a wild ride. I mean, especially for me, because I was in the mix of, just me coming into the game, was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Me coming in, with that, with a lot of the hip-hop guys. Of course, I did a co-promotion. It was me, Lou DiBella, and Damon Dash, Rockefeller at the time. And, of course, just me just having a lot of, my early fights, coming out of New York. And, we had the whole hip-hop scene, you know what I'm saying? We had, like Irvin, Chris Gotti, the whole Murder Inc. crew, you know what I'm saying, coming to the fights. The whole Rockefeller crew coming to the fights, Dame Biggs, Jay, man, Puff, so a lot of people, I mean, they wonder, how I got all these relationships still now. I've known these guys since before I turned pro, you know what I'm saying? So I got a chance to be around that, very early in my career, and they got a chance to really support me early. And I was just in the streets, you know what I'm saying? I was in the streets, I was in the clubs, I was in the parties, and that just motivated me to always go out there and put on, tremendous performances. So, like just to have, something for everybody to talk about the next day.
Do you think it's your cultural background, the fact that, Haitians are hard workers?
Yeah.
That, I guess, is the reason that you didn't fall down that Adrian Broner lane? Because like you said, you came into this game with hip-hop embracing you and on your back, bringing them into the fights.
Yeah.
He kind of did the same, but obviously you've never had those weight issues. Is he on point? Is he like those kind of been Broner's headlines. What do you think some of the differences are, and how did you not end up that way?
I mean, of course, the way I was brought up, and of course, everybody that knows, my father was very heavy in my life, and he was a strong disciplinarian, and he very much, instilled, a lot of morals and hard work, ethic, just in us. Of course, my brothers and my sisters, they were fighters as well. Everybody was in MMA.
Father too, though, right?
Yeah, my pops too. He fought like in UFC 3. So I grew up
UFC 3.
Yeah, like UFC 3, man, and shit. And I still remember, just growing up, and him just being in Japan a lot, you know, fighting over there.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, a lot of those mixed martial arts, man, you know, it started over there just pretty heavy before it came over here. So I knew about a lot of it before the UFC even started. So I was excited to see it. But just seeing him every day, you know, just going to the gym working and just, you know what I mean, bringing me with him. And that was just everyday life. It was everyday life. Like, we didn't play about it. If I wanted to box, you know, I wanted to try to be the best at it. And I didn't have no choice. Everybody in the house was dogs. So, you know what I'm saying? So we just grew up with it, man. If it was any type of discipline there, was like, I'm talking about like in the house, it was 500 push-ups, 500 squats before we went to school. And
Before school?
We in elementary school. You know what I'm saying? And
no wonder you always had that chest like that.
You know what I mean? That was in elementary school, to middle school, and everybody in school knew. And everybody in school knew when we got in trouble because we walk in class, be so sore. Yeah, we didn't want nobody to touch us. You know what I mean? But all that stuff just built us, man, just for everything that we, you know, that we have moving forward. You know, just me boxing and just being just extremely, just a lot stronger and faster than a lot of, you know what I mean, like a lot of the kids that were around, like a lot of the opponents. You know, like I said, my brothers, they were state national wrestling champions. My sisters, they were judo champions. So that was just in the house, man. And so that hard work ethic, that's what it was. It was fight time, we knew what we had to do, period. It was no type of bullshit. No overweight, no this, no, that's crazy. That's something that we couldn't even fathom. That was, you know what I'm saying?
So where exactly were you born and raised? Because yesterday I heard you mention Dade County, and you know, right away I'm like, damn, you made it out of Dade County.
Yeah.
How you ain't get caught up?
I was born there. I was born in Miami, raised in Polk County though, which, shit, it might be even a little bit more vicious. You know, Polk County is like Central Florida, but a lot of, you know, Haitians, you know, Jamaicans, Cubans, you know, a lot of them, you know, migrated up the area because a lot of drugs came through that, you know, area as well. You know, if everybody watched, you know, Cocaine Cowboys, that movie Cocaine Cowboys, of course, a lot of drugs were going into Miami, but sooner or later, the authorities got hip to it, and they kind of shut that border down, so they started going the back way. And they start going through Central Florida, like through Lakeland, like where I was raised.
Oh, you're from Lakeland?
Yeah, I'm from Winter Haven. It's right next to Lakeland.
Okay.
So, you know, they start going through Lakeland and driving the drugs down to Miami the back way. So that whole area just got flooded. So just me growing up, man, it was, you know, it was heavy in the area, man. A lot of drugs, a lot of shooting, a lot of killing. You know.
How'd you not get caught up? Was it boxing? Was it just the upbringing in your home, your father?
Just upbringing, of course. I mean, it was around a lot, you know, but like I say, I think it's just like a lot of the morals that my pops put in us. Of course, my pops was out there too, you know, but he was a big man on campus out there in the streets as well. So, you know, like with me, the streets and where I grew up from, in which everybody knows, like back home, the streets low-key protected me as well. Because of the respect they have for my dad, the respect they had for us, because they seen the hard work that we're putting in every day, in and out, and they said, okay, these kids gonna make it. You know, if I show up at a party, if somebody trying to give me this, trying to give me that, I mean, I got some of the big OGs on the streets. Hey man, get that shit away from him. You know what I'm saying? He next up. And I had, you know, a few guys like Tracy McGrady, you know, Ray Lewis. You know, a few of those guys came up in my area as well. So I had some guys just to really, you know, look up to and to really look at and say, okay, they made it out, shit, I'm next up.
Did you have a personal relationship with Tmac and
yeah, that's my man. I still talk to him every day. Yeah.
A basketball, like an NBA legend.
Yeah. And Amari. And Amari started. I went to school with Amari. Yeah. So
you know, that's crazy for you to. I mean,
who did Ray Lewis play for?
The Ravens.
Yeah.
Legendary. And then Amari Stoudemire, it was crazy because he was really, I remember for me growing up, a lot of people couldn't afford the Jordans. He had the Stoudemires, $14.99. $14.99, bro. People was loving the Stoudemires.
Oh, you talking about Stephon.
That's Stephon Marbury.
That's Stephon. No, but Amari, man. And the crazy thing about Amari, man, we was in middle school, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't think he was it. You know, we had another kid, I forgot his name. Everybody was talking about him going to the NBA.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, Murray was, he was tall, but he was, but shit, I look up, we graduate. I look up, 3 years later, I'm on TV, I see, Real Sports. Murray started I'm seeing all types of shit. I'm like, what? What's happening?
Wow.
So, he ended up making it, man, doing his thing, man. So, I definitely, it was great to see.
Hey, I gotta add, weren't you at what? So I feel like a lot of fighters, right? So say you have a PBC fighter, you have a relationship with a top ranked fighter. Mm-hmm. Why is it frowned upon for you to go support? Because
they don't even want you at the fights. Yo, don't go over there.
Don't even go over there.
Now I think it's like because you're endorsing the fight. I guess
silly. It don't matter, man. That shit don't matter. It's I don't know, stupid politics that needs to go out the door. Just boxing in general, man. It's still so corrupt and so old school. I mean, they continue to take advantage of it because boxing doesn't have a union, so they can pretty much kind of do whatever they want. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's important. Even now, when I speak to a lot of these kids, man, I see them doing great. I really want them to make sure to get their structure together, outside the ring as well, because, like I say, when they done with you, they're gonna be done with you. So enjoy the ride. Utilize, all your relationships in the right way. Don't just really just eat up, too much of the hype. Take everything in. Take it all in. Take the love, take the money, but you know what I'm saying? Just make sure to stay sharp, make sure your family's taken care of, make sure you're well invested, make sure you got a great structure, around you. So once shit start going left, you're gonna be all right.
Berto, you think that your time with Lou wasn't a bad time because of obviously his alliances and who he was at the time? Because for me, on the outside looking in, I see Lou struggling right now with the network and with putting his fighters on television. That wasn't the issue back then.
That definitely wasn't an issue.
You was able to do your thing.
Yeah, man, I love Lou, man. And we had a great time. I mean, those times, man, it was, we had great times, bro. But it just tells you, it just shows you, how the game is. I mean, like Lou was the top dog, over HBO. At the time when we had me, he had Jermaine Taylor was his guy at the time, and of course, had a few other fighters as well. But it just shows you just how fast things can move and shake. Because even like a Richard Schaefer, I don't really see Richard, too much anymore. But even at the time, he was that guy. Don King was that guy. A lot of people was that guy, man. But things shift. Things shift and change, and if you can't pivot with it, man, you're gonna get lost. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of like a lot of getting with the times. I know recently there's been like criticism of Bob Arum as long as he's been in the game, because obviously he has his Shakur Valdez fight going up against Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano.
The same night, right?
The same night. One's in New York, one's here in Vegas. So there was like criticism because he's like, oh, like who wants to watch that?
And he actually said like people don't watch women's boxing, right?
Yeah.
Right. And which
is crazy because he's got a few women. He's got McKellar.
Bob had a point, man. Bob don't give a damn about nothing. You know what I mean? Bob been in the game for a long time. Bob done made hundreds of millions. Listen, man, y'all leave Bob alone. Bob just Bob floating, man.
Speaking of leaving Bob alone, how do you feel about Terrence Crawford and his issues with Bob? Because he's definitely suing Bob. Felt Bob held him back.
Yeah. Felt
his career could have been better and he could have been in a bigger place, and felt that Bob didn't get him the big fights.
Terrence, we need you. Man, I think it's something that everybody has been seeing for a long time. But of course, Terrence he was on the contract, so he just, I believe that he probably just had to stay the course. But now the contract's over. You see Terrence, boy. Terrence letting it be known quick. You know, I seen that little clip at the press conference when when Terrence said what he said after the fight.
To Tom Brown?
Yeah.
No.
To Bob.
Yeah,
to Bob.
Yeah,
Bob's sitting right next to him.
That was a cold piece. I said, okay, yeah, Terrence ready to get
If he couldn't give me the big fights when I was with him, what's gonna make me think he gonna give me the big fights when I'm not?
Yeah, so
Bob was hurt too. You could tell in his face he wasn't expecting that one.
Yeah, but Bob, man,
but he should have been expecting.
Bob this right here is the truth. Bob is a businessman. He's been doing this thing for a long time. He doesn't care if people want to see certain fights. Bob's been doing this for a long time. Bob understands that, to make money, he caters to a certain type of, fighter with a big following and has a big country behind him. Mm-hmm. He doesn't care about this and about that and women's boxing and, this guy's good. He's looking for these massive followings that these guys bring. Yeah, pretty much. Period. It's all about the money.
Yeah, man. He's always looking for a fighter that has a country behind him.
That's it. Period.
And I guess that's just marketing for boxing. One-on-one.
That's it. Period. I don't care about
obviously, he struggled. He's physically said it out his own mouth. I didn't know how to promote Mayweather to the urban demographic. You, as part of that demographic, as a fighter that came up through the ranks and had to deal with, being African American and quote unquote your country not backing you. What do you think could be done different, and how could we change that so that we can have more American-based fighters having the same love and support that UK fighters give their fighters, bro?
I mean, I don't know, man. It's tough. I think, right now it needs to be in our hands. We have the we have the ability now. Like I said, you see it with Tank. Tank is selling out arenas in Atlanta, because he has a huge, social media, following as well. So I think that we just need to put it in our own hands. A lot of these promoters, especially a lot of these, white promoters, they're not going to understand, our culture, when it comes to that. So, so we probably just need to put a lot of that stuff in our hands, man. We have the vehicle. You got this phone in your hand. This is that vehicle that you need to try to pull these viewers in that you need to do, pretty much.
Even though, we spoke about it yesterday, and you've had this amazing journey with Al, know that not every fighter that's with Al can say they've had the Andre Berto career. Yeah. Do you think that they still, and I'm not saying they is Al, but did they drop the ball with you? Because I don't remember a hometown fight. I don't remember you getting this Tank push. They took him to the UK. They took him to Atlanta. They took him to LA, New York.
It's different now. It's different. Like I said, at the same time, we didn't have social media as well. You know what I mean? Of course, I believe if I had social media at the time, things were going crazy for me. Of course, I have a lot, like bigger reach, maybe millions of followers, especially at the time. But like I say, it's just a different time, man. You can be, from Baltimore and have, millions of followers following you that you actually can, control on your phone. You know what I mean? So like I say, it's just a different time. I don't think they dropped the ball. I think they did a great job for that time for me. I was that young blue chip prospect that was everywhere and they got a lot of hype, that made a lot of money. And, like I said, man, I think they did what they did with me.
I just feel like, I'm on the outside looking in. I don't know.
At the same time, of course, he has, he got Floyd next to him. Yeah. He got Leonard. He got a lot of different people around him that, that can really push him in a lot of different ways. So, of course, they're gonna try to expand it up. But like I say, man, I think social media and just the times period is just different.
Am I wrong to assume that at some point in your career, there was the right time to make a you versus Thurman fight in Florida, or was he always your little bro?
I've always wanted to fight in Florida.
Get out of here. Florida. You ain't say Thurman.
No, I've always wanted to fight in Florida, but I know that Al always just wanted me to, you know, to fight in these bigger shows, you know, New York, you know, Vegas. And for some reason, you know, he goes from the analytics, you know, especially at that time, because we had plenty of those conversations. And from him doing the concert promotion tours, they just know certain areas that
sell.
Yeah, that just sell, you know, when it comes to sports. That's why, like, even when I lived in Atlanta, I wanted to bring a fight to Atlanta when I lived there. When
everybody asked for a fight in Atlanta, and Tank got it.
I was begging them for a fight in Atlanta when I won the world title, you know, in my first world title. But from the analytics, they don't come out to the sports, you know, events. They don't come out to the sports events. And like I said, it's a whole different game too.
Damn, what changed, bro? Because I've been to Atlanta for Tank's fight.
It's definitely
and that's Black Hollywood.
And that's the thing. That's why that's what I kept saying as well. But like I said, they're not there. They don't see it. They don't understand. They're going to go by the numbers. Okay, the basketball games are trash. The football games are trash. So, you know, they're not coming out for boxing events. And I'm like, listen, this shit is like, I got the city like this.
Nah, but social media different now.
Yeah,
my God.
Yeah, social media definitely took everything to another level. And I think he got a chance to see that, because even when he called me about with the Tank situation, with the Atlanta situation, I said, watch. Watch he sell this thing out. I said, it's going to be crazy. He said, you think so? I said, watch. And, you know, I'm after the first fight. He's like, man, I guess you're right.
That was a movie. In the same token, I was just saying earlier, you know, going back to the whole Terrence Crawford and Bud situation, I was like, you got to be able to sell it, because they took Shakur and Jamil there, and as
3,000 tickets. That's insane.
But like I say, the kid, that's the thing. Like, the thing with Tank's been popping for a while, and a lot of people don't realize it. You know what I mean? I still remember he was doing his little fast videos on Instagram. You know, he had Meek, and he had all these other, you know what I mean, like all these other rappers. You know what I mean? They was already supporting him early, you know, first, second, third fight, you know, pro fight. So I already kind of knew once he really got to a certain point, you know, they were going to continue to try to grab him up, man. They were going to show him off, and they were going to keep reposting him. And that's how that following grows. And, you know, so I know that he was going to end up just having
that Drake connection, too. That had to help.
He got a Drake connect. You know, he got a lot of different connects, man. And he, you know, like when it comes to us and our culture, we love that story of a kid coming from nothing to you know, becoming a world champion. They going to back that. You know what I'm saying? So
I got a question coming in from New York City. David Maldonado says, what's up, champ?
What up?
What would a fantasy fight between Danny Garcia in his prime versus 147-pound prime Miguel Cotto look like? Who wins? And please, give us a full breakdown from your view, champ.
Danny Garcia and Cotto?
Yeah. Passing of the torch, that's what he wants. He's Puerto Rican, David Maldonado from New York City. And obviously, if Cotto and Danny would have got in the ring, Danny's career could have ended up a little bit different. I mean, imagine if Danny got as lucky as Saddam and had that last Cotto fight. Them Puerto Ricans probably would have loved him. No, it was really Cotto offered it to Earl, but Golden Boy wanted. Yeah, hell yeah. But
Cotto
they wanted
to come back.
When he did come back when he fought Saddam Ali.
Oh yeah, really?
It was supposed to be Earl, but Earl, you know, they wanted to sign Earl to Golden Boy. He wasn't trying to do that, obviously. Even though I don't know, I know Al is, you know, you guys, you know, you follow Al in his direction, but man, if you could have got a 2-fight deal with Golden Boy and get that legendary name under your cap and take that back,
man, I still remember the time I pressed Cotto out one time.
What you mean you pressed him?
I was
seen
crazy.
him in the street.
Listen, I was crazy. Y'all need to understand something. Y'all need to understand something, bro. When I was coming up, y'all couldn't tell me nothing. Like, when I say that I was so laser focused and I was such a dog and I wanted to fight everybody. Like I still remember just winning the Golden Gloves, you know, and Floyd and his team coming to see me. And, you know, they took me out to eat and shit like that just to celebrate. And, you know, all these other fighters, they're around Floyd and his whole team. Oh, champ, champ. And he got me in front of him. I won the most outstanding boxer of the tournament as well. I'm just sitting at that dinner. And like I said, I've known Floyd since I've been 16. You know what I mean? I'm still cool with him now. I remember sitting at this dinner, the way everybody was champ. And he pulling up in these, you know, Rolls Royces, and you know what I mean, like we're at the roof, Chris. He buying steaks for everybody. He da-da-da-da-da-da. And you know, he's showing me off. I'm sitting across from him while everybody's eating and da-da-da. And I'm just looking at him like I need this. I need everything you got. I was already sizing him like, yeah, sooner or later I gotta try to get him out of there. I need this. Like that was my mentality all the time.
Hungry.
You know what I mean? And so when they were talking about, you know, they had a few conversations about you know, me and Cotto fighting you know, back in the day. And of course, you know, I'm gonna lose ass. Like, man, shit, let's try to make this happen. Let's try to make this happen. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And you know, and it was always some type of conversation about this and that. And you know, they didn't think they want to have it. I mean, you'll make it happen right now. This and that. I'm like, wow, like I'm undefeated. I'm world champion. What's the problem? And then I ended up doing a deal with Everlast, and they did an Everlast photo shoot in New York. They flew me up. And I think Cotto, you know, he was there too. So I'm in the building. I get finished doing the shoot. I don't see him. You know, me, I got, you know, especially at the time, I'm moving around with like 4 or 5 guys. And then the elevator opened up. Then I see him looking down like this. He looks up. He sees me. Because, like, you know, by this time, I'm already talking crazy on the internet about him. Like, nah, you know, he's scared. I don't know why he not, I see him in the elevator. Yeah, I see him look up. I think he's with his manager. I see him look at me. I walked up. I walked on the elevator. He just walked up on him. The door closed. I'm like, man, what's the problem, man? I was like, what's the problem? And he was like, what? He said, man, you're a great champion. I remember him saying that. You're a great young champion. I said, no. Like, why we can't make this fight happen? The elevator open. We walk outside. We talking. I'm just like, you know, what's up? You know, why can't we make this happen? Well, you know, we got to handle business first. At this time, I don't care about business. I want to scrap. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? He's just like, you know, you're young, you're doing great. Just keep building yourself up. And you know, what I mean? We'll see.
Is that your Spanglish accent?
Yeah, that was my little Spanglish. That was my little Spanglish. You know what I mean? But at that time, in my mind, I'm like, this nigga's scared. You know, this nigga's scared. But he probably would have chopped me up there. Now I don't know. But I just remember pressing him out on that. His manager pushing me away, like, all right, you guys, settle down, relax. I'm like, all right, bet.
Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's funny.
Cotto, I love you.
I got James Benitez in San Antonio. No, this is actually Alabama. He says, would a comeback fight against Tank pique your interest? Also, champ.
Why do people, what's going on? Isn't he like 130 pounds?
It's the whole thing with Thurman. I told you before
I never heard my name come up with Tank.
It was when your name got on the rankings. Believe me, bro, you ain't fought in so long. Everybody seen that you got on the rank. We thought it was about to be a comeback.
But why?
And then the way Tank got involved.
I thought I was old though. I thought I've been doing it for a long time. Like, why they pull me up?
Even if you old though, that's how the sport does it though.
Even if you old.
That's how the sport does it though. You know, look. Mosley fought Canelo.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they do. They use your name to build the next name.
Crazy.
It's the passing of the torch.
Man, I never heard. I don't know. That's crazy.
I'm just saying, welterweight, heavyweight are the luxurious divisions, right? Sure. When it comes to economics and finances.
Facts.
If you're Floyd and you're Ellaby,
facts.
Is there a way to get Tank to welterweight? And what's the safest way in their eyes? I'm not saying you safe, because I told my audience the power. See, I'm intrigued by the fight. Before Thurman became an option, I seen your name on the rankings. I did an entire show based around it saying they got to be giving Berto a shot. You don't just pop up on the rankings after that long. So we interviewed Ellaby, you know, and he said that he wouldn't rule out the possibility of Tank fighting at 47. So that put more interest into people. So I kept pushing. It's you because of your inactivity. So it's safer for Tank in the eyes of his handlers. I'm not saying you don't have power. We know that the phrase in boxing, the last thing to go is power. But that's how you test the young man. It's like, all right, Berto can knock him out. But he's a little older. Let's see if Tank's youthfulness can get him through this fight.
That's crazy.
And now we created a welterweight.
That's crazy.
And guess what? Is there another welterweight that can fight on pay-per-view without a fucking belt? No, there's not. But I bet you if you and Tank on fight, it'll be a pay-per-view.
I believe it.
I bet you if Tank takes the Thurman fight, it'll be a pay-per-view.
Facts.
Non-fucking belt, man. I'm telling you.
Facts.
So, and they're going to make the most money they've ever made. Tank's doing 225,000 pay-per-views with Barrios. How much would he do with Keith that did 600,000? You fought Floyd, did 5 and some change. How much would you do with Tank? It's just mathematics. I thought I was wrong, though, because I swore it was you.
Really? I mean, like I said,
So you really didn't know your name was on the rankings?
I mean, I knew my name was on the rankings as soon as as soon as I started having some conversations about, you know, I mean, we had some possibilities of sneaking up in there. So, you know, but I never heard the me and Tank situation. I've heard, you know, me and Ugas, me and
nah, man, don't take no
some other stuff.
I mean, he got the title, so obviously if they offer you a title shot, you know, Ugas ain't the name for you to come back. You need a name that's going to psych the people.
We gonna see, man.
You know what I mean? Got to get that name that's going to get people juices flowing.
We gonna see, man.
But does that pique your interest, he said?
What's that?
A Tank fight. Would it pique your interest?
Man.
If Al said, Berto, I've been thinking.
Of course. Is that your Al?
That's my Al impression. Berto, I've been thinking. How do you feel about you and Tank Davis?
That's crazy.
Bro, and you're not that tall. You 5'8", right?
Oh, for sure. Like I said.
He's 5'6", ain't he?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's my little man. But like I mean, for me, that just sounds crazy. That sounds crazy.
Because he's so young.
Yeah, he's so young. That doesn't even sound, I mean, it sounds crazy to me. You know.
Is it a big fight in your eyes?
Of course, I think that everything that he's, you know, me, of course, and everything that he's doing right now.
He's 5'5" and a half, by the way.
You know what I mean? And everybody knows that, you know, when it comes to me, it's you know, I'm coming, you know, guns blazing regardless. So, you know, it's up to, you know, it's definitely going to be, you know, anything exciting. But like I said, you know, I want to see Tank do his thing, man. I'm good. Don't put me in the fire. I'm all right. I'm all right. Y'all don't need to put me in the fire. I'm making a lot of money outside. Listen, I'm good. I'm good, man. I love y'all boys. I want to see y'all go to the moon. You know what I mean? Y'all need some advice from me. You know, holler at me. But no, I want to see him do his thing, man. I just don't see it.
I hear you.
But I don't know. Like I said, if the phone call happens, if Al calls me, listen, we got this bag. It might be a different situation.
I like to hear that. I like that. Because listen, like you said, you wanted that Atlanta fight. Wouldn't be a better place to do it. Man, I mean, obviously they might try to take you guys to Vegas because of your name. You fought Floyd. He's a Floyd protege, but
you know, it's crazy.
I love Atlanta, man.
I was saying before you got here, Tank's first fight with Floyd was on y'all undercard.
Was it?
It was. I remember I got there at like 12 because Tank was the second fight. He fought at like 12:30.
Really? Damn. Yeah, that's crazy.
That was his first fight with Floyd.
Berto, let's spice this up a little bit.
Spice it up, please. Bro.
What's going on? Talk to me.
I came here for a movie. This supposed to be the best.
This about to be a movie, man. This supposed to be
the best show ever because I'm here.
It's about to be a movie because
what's up?
There's been something, right? What was the incident between you and Gary Russell? He out here saying that he put hands on you coming up. First of all, he said he hooked off. I don't know if you heard because I know you're a very busy man, but he said he hooked off on Crawford, pieced him up.
Yeah.
He stole him.
Yeah, I heard that.
And then he said he was putting hands on you coming up in the end.
Somebody sent me that. I seen it, and I just laughed. I just laughed because, like I said, I know Gary. That's my man too. And I called him after that. I called him.
Why you lying on my name?
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, these guys don't be playing. But at the same time, you know what I mean? We laughed about it, you know what I mean? Because like I said, the incident that happened, it was so funny though. You know, I think I was, I don't know, 12, 13. I was 12 or 13. I was at the, I think, Silver Glove Regionals. And you know, Lou Gary and that whole team, you know, from DC, you know what I mean? Like, they was running shit. I mean, they're knocking everybody out, beating everybody up. The team from Florida was always, you know, so kind of trash. But it was this one kid from Florida knocking everybody out. in Region 3, and they know who it was. So I'm about to fight a kid from DC, one of their guys within their group. And Gary, of course, like he's real tremendous, fighter. Him and a whole bunch of other little kids. Like they used to come to these tournaments, 50 deep. You know what I mean? A whole bunch of little street, little ghetto ass kids, but they can fight their ass off. I mean, little badasses. Right. Just, you know what I mean, running everywhere. Everybody wearing that purple and gold, purple and white, the headbangers. So I go in that thing, I fight that guy, I beat him up, smash him up, bad. And I leave the ring, and I go in the bathroom to change, to take all my stuff off. Like my cup, you know what I mean? It's the big open situation. So I go in the bathroom, and then I hear the door open. I see like little. At this time, Gary had to be 7, 8 years old.
Look where his head. I can't even see his head. Bro, like, he under the table.
Bro, like 7, 8 years old. I see like 6 of them. Like 6 of them come into the bathroom and close the door. Behind them, and they like, oh yeah, you think you da-da-da-da-da, because you whooped my boy? Yeah, we finna fuck you up. I'm like, what's going on? I'm seeing these little niggas. I mean, little badass little kids. I'm like, what? I took my shit off. I'm ready. It was Barry Hunter. Barry Hunter busts in the bathroom, and these little boys got little razors on them.
What? Oh, they was
little niggas crazy. Yeah, these little niggas
they thought they was from New York.
Yeah. They got razors on them, all types of shit. And what's his name? Barry Hunter. He busts in the bathroom. Boom. What the hell y'all doing? What I told y'all? Da-da-da. He slapped me. See all these little boys just running up out the joint. They running out. They running out like little kids. And Barry grabbed me like, man, listen, man, you amazing fighter. I'm sorry for that. What just, what just happened? I don't know what it was on. But listen, man, anything you need, anything from DC you need, I got you. Like you with us now, da-da-da. You part of this Region 3, you an animal, so da-da-da. That's the only thing that happened. That's what happened. That was the encounter that happened. Yeah, they ran down over. They tried to cut me and all types.
Damn, I can't believe they brought the razors in the bathroom, man.
Yeah.
They got on some.
Some little bad.
What was that? You was watching The Wire. What's the other one? Oh, Oz. They was on some Oz shit.
They was on some other shit, man. They tried to get me about it.
I got some more here. The best dad ever is actually from Baltimore. He says, thanks for the tank love again, champ. We supporting you always from Baltimore.
Yes, sir.
If you could invent a fighter, what 3 fighters would you put together to make a complete fighter? Who punches harder, Tank or Thurman?
If I had a complete fighter... out of current fighters or old fighters?
No, you're making a fighter out of current fighters.
Out of current fighters?
You got to take their attributes.
Okay, I would do Tank for sure, because of his speed, explosiveness. Oh man, I would get Man, I don't know. I would get Terrence. Terrence because of his range. His range and boxing ability and being able to switch it up. Left righty. And that dog he got in him too. And probably Andre Ward.
His ring IQ? What from IQ. Okay.
Ring IQ.
Just that defense.
That defense, ring IQ,
Man, you worked alongside Dre for mad years, but you fought Floyd. Who has the better defense? Because I've seen Dre do some amazing shit in the ring, but Floyd is Mr. Untouchable.
And I did some sparring with Dre for that fight, actually.
For the Kovalev fight?
No, for the for the Floyd fight.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he was helping me out in that sense. But like I said, it's just different, man. You know, Dre, he is defensive, but he likes to stay close enough to attack. You understand me? You know, he'll roll off some shit, come back, or he'll, you know, he just likes to stay close enough that he can counter back and touch you. A lot of people don't realize with Dre, man, he's real mean, you know, in the pocket. You understand? Like, you see him, you know, he's a little slim. You know, I mean, you don't think he got that power, but like I said, he got that meanness, you know, in him. He loves to stay in the pocket. He loves to play defense and comes right off of that with some shit just to let you know that he's here. He's going to push you back and let you know that it's going to be a long night. You know, Floyd likes to float around. You know, Floyd really likes to play defense. He really likes to make sure that you don't feel him. You know what I mean? And in no type way, you know, a fashion. And he uses that to finesse the situation just to really try to outpoint you. Dre wants him, you know, Dre wants you to feel him. You know what I mean? Floyd doesn't. Floyd's going to touch you. Don't touch nothing. I don't want you touching nothing. I don't want you to get close to me. I don't want you to, I don't want to feel your body on me at all. Dre wants to feel you, and he wants to catch some shit, and you're going to feel him too.
I got Brandon Maurice in Cincinnati that says, I heard on an interview with KO King Randall Bailey.
Oh, Lord.
Where he said you ducked him.
Oh, Lord.
And
Randall, give it up, please.
To this day, if he sees you, it's on sight. Can you give your side of the story with that situation? Because that would have been a great fight.
That was years ago. He was calling me out. I say, why I'm going to fight you, Randall? Because you in Florida? Because you a Florida boy? That don't make no sense. Like, it didn't make no sense to me. I mean, I'm world champion. I got, you know, a lot of money in my pocket. Why am I going to fight Randall? For what?
I don't even know. When was it the right time?
I don't know.
Maybe, did he beat Mike Jones? I think he beat Mike Jones. Let me double check.
Who is Mike Jones?
Mike who? He was signed I think he was signed to Top Rank, but he had that real bad fight with Jesus Soto Carasso. They end up having a
I didn't have no reason to fight Randall. Like, Randall was going around Florida saying that. Fight me for what? For what? You know what I mean? I'm trying to fight Cotto. I'm trying to fight Zab. Why am I going to fight you, Randall? That doesn't make no sense.
So let me see. Randall.
He was popular.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I see. All right, so maybe 2012. What was you doing? How was your 2012? That was a good year.
Get money.
That was a good year for PBC too. But wasn't that the inception?
I think.
Oh, that was no.
That was 2014.
What year Floyd fought Canelo? 13.
Yeah, 13.
But 12 was a good year. I promise you, 12 was a good year in boxing. But it looks like he fought Devin Alexander, which means you could have been an option. That's another Al Heyman boy.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, I just didn't get it. I didn't understand that. I was on a different wavelength, and you know, he was down south, you know, talking that shit, and he know better than doing that, man. You know, especially down there in Florida, we could have made it real ugly, real quick. So you know, I just really just kept ignoring him because I didn't want to go that way with him. So I know. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really see no purpose in doing it.
All right. We got Rule 1504 New Orleans. He says, what's wrong with the sport of boxing nowadays?
They're crazy. Everybody wants to be money made, but they don't want to be pretty boy. That's what's going on, man. It's a lot of...
That is true, man. Pretty boy fought Castillo. He fought Corrales. He fought Chiquinho Hernandez.
He fought everybody. He fought
Sean
everybody.
Mitchell.
He fought everybody. I remember being in the clubs with Floyd when I was an amateur, man. He'll damn party, you know. He'll buy a shitload of bottles and we'll walk out the club and he'll damn just open the trunk, put on them running shoes and go at it. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Like, I mean, that was him at the end of the day. And still now, you still see him working. You know what I mean? But y'all need, these kids need to put that work in. You got to want to fight people, want to fight the best. And that's one thing I see with Shakur. Shakur really wants to fight motherfuckers. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, I talked to him.
with Bob, though.
Yeah, he would buy. But like I say, Shakur Stevens, he's very, very, very hungry. He's very, very confident. Confident in skills. He really believes that he can beat anybody right now.
Were you in Reno when he won his world title at featherweight?
No, I don't think so. No, I wasn't.
I thought, because when I asked you earlier, I can't remember what I thought it was you. I can't remember what PBC fighter was there. Like, don't get me on camera, cause then they gonna call me asking me what I'm doing at a top rank fight. They said don't get me on camera.
Yeah, they crazy for all that, man. Boxing, man. It's boxing. It's boxing, man. We got to try to change that narrative. We have to try to change that narrative, man. It's too many great young athletes out there. Too many great fights that could happen. You know what I mean? Like us.
Like Shakur versus Tank.
For sure.
How long we going to have to wait for that?
For sure.
It's going to be crazy, man. I mean, they already ain't give us Tank versus Loma.
Yeah.
I want
and that's the only
Tank.
thing. And that's the only thing when people always complain about, you know, this boxing stuff and this UFC. I mean, you know, they doing what they do in the UFC. They're fighting
each other.
They fighting each other. Of course, the structure is different, and we are getting paid a lot more over here. But like I say, that's what's keeping it so exciting over there, because they giving them the fights that people want to see.
You know, but it's crazy though, because they had Demetrius Johnson, who for years was pound for pound number one, but they like, oh, he don't have that exciting style. Released him.
What's up with Demetrius Andres?
He is right now petitioning to the WBO so that he can move up to 168, fight for the vacant interim title versus Zach Parker, in hopes of enforcing a mandatory 12 months later against the champion Canelo Alvarez.
And that's another kid too, man. Great talent. That he could have had plenty of big fights by now. That I feel that I mean, it would have been great for the sport, man. He's sharp. He's sharp.
Come on, Berto. You know you Al's guy, man.
Talk to me.
You're the only one that can really tell us.
Hey.
And even if you don't know, make it a thing to just be like, right before you get on a plane, or like, yo, Al, you know what? I was in an interview and they brought this up. What happened? So Andre had a contract with Jamel.
Who?
Demetrius Andre.
Okay.
Had a contract with Jamel Charlo to fight each other.
Yes.
It was allegedly signed, but that was the time when Dre was getting that money with, and I mean Dre, your Dre, was getting the money with Rock Nation. Cotto got that big deal. Then they tried to get Boo Boo and fuck up the little contract Al had. Rumor has it that is what caused Al to no longer want to do business with Andre, and that's why Andre cannot get a Charlo either Mel or Maul fight.
Listen, I mean, one thing with that man, you know, he has heavy principle. He's a tremendous person, and he's gonna get you your money, and he's gonna take care of you. But if you go against the grain,
what is going against the grain? Obviously, I know
if you go against the grain.
I mean, that's so vague. You could do so many things that'll piss somebody off.
Yeah, but if you go against the grain, man, you know what the situation is. You know what he's doing over at PBC. You know that he's taking care of you. He knows to make sure that, you know, like any type of needs that you want, you know, in and outside of, you know, boxing. You know, he's a busy guy. You know what I mean? He's a busy guy, but he tries to make sure that everybody's good and everybody's taken care of. And that's something that I don't even understand with him. And I talk to him about it all the time. Like, how are you able to handle this shit? You know, people got problems. People got this. People got that. You know, but he always looks out for everybody. You know, but if you go against the grain and you want to try to do your own thing, or you have these other conversations and sign other contracts and feel like you don't need them, all right, well, make sure you don't need me. Bing. And, you know, good luck to you, though. That's how he is. Good luck to you, you know.
He should just call him.
Just
call Al.
Call Al.
Have him on the show.
You know, I met him one time.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna like, man, have you ever met him?
I met him 3 times that I've had 3 conversations. But then I was in the elevator with him to go to Porter's hotel room when he beat Broner. But when I met him in New York City, they had Times Square shut down. It was amazing. I thought, honestly, I'm a very religious person. I thought God set it up for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mayweather came to town to do the Canelo Alvarez press tour. They shut the whole fucking Times Square down. and there's this tall man in a pea coat all the way to the kneecaps, I knew it was him. Nobody sees him. He's there. Yeah, he was there. Pea coat. Yeah, like a long, like a to the knees, right? Yeah, like a wool shit.
What?
Yeah.
You lying.
Nah, man. I promise you, I stand next to him, and I told these guys this story. I'm like, look, Al, I know you don't do interviews.
No, sir.
But one interview with you could change my entire life. Entire life. Nah. And I go through this spiel of how it would change my life. And he's like, that's how I know the voice. Because he's like, Nesta, I'll give you anything. Yeah. But not on camera.
There you go.
Not on video. And I'm like, and I don't even know what else to say because I told myself so much that once I tell him my story, he'll be like, fuck it, it's only one video. Nah. It'll do more for you than it's going to do harm for him. And damn, that shit never worked out. Never worked out.
Nah, that's crazy. And it's crazy like you was even able to, recognize him because, he'll be in the room, press conferences and all that. Have every fighter on that platform. Man, I want to thank you. No, he'd just be sitting off in the back, and I'm sitting there looking at him. I'm scared he's gonna be
90% don't know what he looked like.
90%.
You Google him.
Same picture. Same three. Same 3-4
pictures.
Yeah. Bro, I've seen Brandon Watson come up to photographers like, yo, come on, man, why you do that, man? Delete that picture, man.
Facts.
Nah, they don't want no pictures out there.
I was in Houston. I think that was when Jamal was fighting Brandon Adams, and I'm in the room. Sam Watson got a big room in the hotel. I'm upstairs. Al called. And he was like, all right, everybody, I need y'all phones. So we had and mind you, Al's not on speaker. Sam got his little phone to his ear. I need y'all phones. Sheesh. He didn't even want us recording him on the phone call with Al Heyman.
That's probably because of me, because let me tell you, one of my biggest videos is in
San Antonio, Brona McDonough in the back.
No. Oh. Well, that one too, but Robert Easter won his first world title and got the call from Al, and I happened to be right there interviewing Easton. And it's like, hold up, this Al, and I'm like, what? And I just kept rolling, bro. And he just, they get happy too when Al is on the phone,
Of course, shit. We told Berto yesterday we had a PUC fighter. Nah, I ain't never talked to Al. I ain't never met Al.
Yeah, Luke Santa Maria, he never met him. Man, his career, his life has changed since he got with Al, but he ain't met him yet.
Man, it's crazy.
Ain't never even talked to him, let alone met him.
It's crazy. It's crazy how long, I'm proud of him just because of course, what he's done, throughout his just career period with music, TV, and all these type of things, but just to be able to be with him from the beginning of this boxing stage and seeing, the beginning of that process of how, he had to make moves and maneuver and just knowing the process of bringing value to HBO, in which they needed him to continue to, like the whole process of it, man, and just seeing everything that he's ever spoke that he was going to work on to make happen, or if he'll, I'm at the crib and I'm pulling up. Just come to the house and we'll just sit down and just chop it up and just talk about, the process and just seeing things, happen, everything that we kind of, talked about, planned out, or if I get that call to, meet at, like a restaurant, whatever the case may be, and just see how everything just play out. I mean, it's tremendous, man. It's tremendous to see it. But I've seen him as it continued to grow. He continued to slowly but surely get a little further out of the spotlight. Because of course, my first couple of fights, he used to be right there ringside. He'll run around a little bit, and then it went from, being back in the dressing rooms, from time to time, not being out in the crowd, and now it's like, he'll be either in his room or he'll just be at the house, watching, but handling business.
It's crazy what the way he got started and the story behind it and everything, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of stories too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever heard about him allegedly having a conversation with some music people before he ventured into boxing, saying that boxing is wide open and that he could take it over? Is that rumor true?
I mean, I don't know about, that rumor of him having a conversation with anybody, but at the same time, like he's the most decorated, concert promoter in history.
Absolutely.
You talking about
to this day.
To this day.
To this day.
I mean, you got Drake still talking about 10% on all my Al Heyman checks.
Al Heyman checks off of all of my events.
You're still talking about, from doing Earth, Wind, and Fire to doing like the Bad Tour, Michael Jackson, MC Hammers.
Some Beyonce too, no?
Beyonce's, Jay's, to even now, Drake, Wayne.
Cardi.
It's crazy.
Oh, he dealing with Cardi too?
It's crazy.
Wow.
The lineup is crazy, bro. And
I don't get that, but bro, why with those connections didn't he
what you mean?
Bring them into the sport? Like, hey, I got this fighter, and now all of a sudden you get these appearances with a Rihanna or a Drake because of his music relationship. Like,
what do you mean?
Intertwine the two so that you could get more popular from the urban hip hop
like he's
audience.
saying, bringing some of those artists he worked with.
I think that's what he's been doing with. I think that's what he did with Tank for sure.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because of course, Tank already had that. That nice buzz when it came to the culture in general. I mean, like I said, like I said, Meek was already fucking with him. A lot of guys already fucking with him already.
Right.
Because I think one of Meek's best friends is like Tank's cousin or something like that. So they already had it popping in that front. So now it's like, okay, he want to do his thing in Atlanta. I'm like, this shit gonna blow, bro. So one thing with him is he gonna call P, down in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Like QC and all those guys, and so they can put a little bit of flame on the fire. Because of course QC they got
Atlanta hot.
They got Atlanta hot. Gonna call P and what I mean. And make sure they go hard with the promotion down there as well. And, we're going to bring the artists out. And now we're going to make it a big situation.
That's everywhere Tank goes, though, man.
But it has to be it has to be a certain type of fighter. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he can do it with everybody. And plus, a lot of these fighters, they don't have that type of relationship with a lot of guys. You can have a fighter, you can bring like a little baby to walk them out. But it's like, okay. You know what I'm saying? But you got to have that it factor, and Tank has it. He has that it factor. These guys.
Is the it factor
we've been walking around
code for knockout power?
Knockout power, explosiveness.
Even the girls like the way he looked. They like his smile. They like the way he dressed. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Like I say, it's hard to explain because you just have to have it. A lot of people can knock guys out. A lot of people have speed, have power, but like I said, it's his overall package. Where he's from, all the obstacles that he had to go through to me. It's a lot of different things that when it comes to the streets and the rap community, they can just relate to, understand with him. And for him to be out here knocking folks' heads off, man, it's going to put it's going to put him on the radar. And of course, Floyd vouching for him too. So, it's just a killer combination.
Andre, want your thoughts, obviously. We saw, in November, Canelo and Al work together to make that fight possible, with Caleb playing for Undisputed. And now Al has made an offer to Canelo for a Jamal Charlo fight.
I see that.
Cinco de Mayo weekend. Canelo, I feel, is pound for pound.
Yeah.
He is obviously, one of the biggest stars in the sports and the draw.
Facts.
At that, not just, a top fighter, but a draw. What do you make of that having top fighter working with Al?
That's a fight that I've always wanted to see, in general. I've always said I think that's going to be a really good fight, for Canelo. Cause you talking about Jamal Charlo, I said he's a big boy, big, strong, great. I'm talking like great ring IQ, and he'll bite back. He's the type of fighter that, a lot of guys that Canelo fights, of course, they get kind of, nervous and scared because of the atmosphere, because of who he is. I know them Charlo boys, they're going to, like I said, they're going to bite back with it. And just with him just doing the last fight with Al, I just think they did just some great business. And just when it comes to me knowing Al, Al's going to make sure the business was really good for Canelo. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? To make him want to come back. So, like I said, that's how he works.
Could you ever foresee, given how much success the Caleb Plant fight did with Canelo, could you foresee the relationship growing more on a personal level between Al and Canelo? Because obviously everybody likes to make money, and Canelo's gonna make Al money if they do business together. Could you see? Because there was that talk like Eddie Hearn has developed a personal relationship with Canelo. Man, could you foresee that with Al?
None of this shit ever personal. I always tell all these young guys. I tell all these young guys all the time, man, none of this shit is personal. It's always business. Always business. So I don't care how good a promoter, I don't care how good a manager is talking to you. Man, soak that shit in. But at the end of the day, you need to understand something. That shit is always business. So don't feel no type of way if something happens or you get beat or and all these other type things in the temperature changes a little bit. Shit is always business, never personal.
I got Brandon Lenz in Houston. He says, "What up, Andre? Glad to finally have you back on the show.
This got to be the greatest show ever."
Based on your storytelling, it seems like you and Al have a really good relationship. Do you think you could envision a scenario in which you could get Al to do an interview, even if it's only via phone for your own platform?
I think, you know what people tell me that now, because I've been doing some interviews myself. They believe that, I'll probably be the only one to be able to get that interview. Maybe. I mean, I pray. You know what I'm saying?
That shit'll blow up.
That shit'll be crazy. I'll pray, you know what I'm saying, that we can probably sit down and get
y'all can use this studio. Anytime he's in town, we'll let you use the studio. We'll sit outside,
That shit'll be legendary, man. But like I said, he likes the space that he's in, bro. Like, he likes just his
privacy, obviously.
He loves his privacy, bro. Like, he loves his privacy, like, to a point that, I remember one time I seen him after a big fight. And, we got finished talking, and I went up to his room, we chopped it up. And then I'm just randomly just going through the casino with some homies. And I walk outside of the casino. Man, I see him, he walking out of the casino. He jump in a little car, like in the backseat of a little car, and take off to the airport. Like, I'm just like, you know what I mean? He just low key, bro. But that's how he likes to handle business, bro. He, if you don't show, everything you got, all the cars that you have, or all the money that you have, you keep your shit, man. And he really holds that. He really loves to be behind the scenes. He's just not just that type of guy. He just doesn't like it. He just doesn't like it, man. He handles business. That's the only thing that matters. And it's just crazy how he's able to, like, him, that one man, is able to control so much boxing, music, this, that. Like, he's able to make all this shit happen. Like, it blows my mind. It's crazy.
We got Chick Chickarelli, longtime fan, champ. Appreciated your killer style.
Hey.
Did the fact Floyd was about to tie Marciano's record affect you in that fight? Thanks.
I wasn't thinking about none of that shit. I mean, me with the Floyd situation. The crazy thing about that fight is, I was at his fight with, like I said, with Pacquiao. And we were in the casino right after the fight. And I remember a good friend of mine's, Rodney Jerkins, big music executive. And he seen me. He said, "Hey, man, Floyd want to fight you next." I said, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "He just fought Pacquiao. Why you?" I just left his house. The only thing he kept talking about, I'm fighting Berto next. I'm like, what? I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "You just left the house?" He said, "I just left the house. A lot of people over there. We was over there chilling. He already said he want to fight you next." I'm like, what are you talking about? You crazy.
Man, you took it like that, honestly? I'd have been crazy excited.
So what was it like? What was it like when Al called and like, yo, this?
I was actually in camp. I was in camp to fight Devin.
Alexander.
Yeah. I was already in camp to fight Devin. I was probably 3 or 4 weeks in.
Wow.
And then I got the call. Al was like, "Man, hey, he keep calling me. He want you." I'm like, "You want to fight me next?" He's like, "Yeah, man, he just want, he want Bert. I don't know what y'all did. I don't know what happened." And then in my mind, I was like, I said, okay, I know what happened.
What happened?
I said, I know what happened.
What happened, Andre? Tell us.
We got, me and Floyd go back, bro. Like I said, we go back from y'all getting some exclusive information right now.
You said it's the best show. You got to
like
you got to give it to us, right?
You know what I mean? Me and Floyd go back. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I said, I've known since I've been 16. Probably 15, 16. He used to pop up at a few of my national tournaments and whatnot.
That's crazy,
You know what I mean? It's crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I can't believe that you stood, obviously I've watched your entire career, but to know all these little intimate details now, like, it's amazing that you stood the course.
It's crazy.
Because I'm honestly, like, I got Floyd coming to see me fight at 16. I might get big-headed. I might think I'm better than, and all of a sudden, I don't make it to that finish line. That's insane, bro.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They used to come to see me and shit, and then when everything was popping, for me, of course, I'm in the mix. So me and Floyd used to cross paths all the time. We crossed, you know what I'm saying? We had a lot of situations. We crossed a lot of the same women. You know what I'm saying? We crossed a lot of just people in general, man. I got some stories. But of course I ain't gonna let all that shit.
Wait, wasn't that the rumor that you got the fight because y'all had a mutual girlfriend and he was?
It was a lot of it was some. I think
boxing I love it.
I know what really. I kind of got a great idea on why it kind of sparked it. You know what I'm saying? Like he had. Man, should I talk about this?
Yes, it's story time. One last story with Dre.
You know what I'm saying? So, should I?
Just a little.
Okay, listen. We were, at my house in L.A. And I used to always have a lot of get-togethers. Of course, I know a lot of people, man. So I got a lot of celebrities, a lot of homies come to the house. And this was after the Karras fight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at the house. My shoulder pent up. I think it was at the Karras fight. My shoulder pent up, and I just still used to just have get-togethers at my house. I used to have this thing called like Soul Food Sunday. So Chris Brown, there's Sean Kingston, Wiz, everybody come through, girls, whatever. Just come to the crib, we cook, everybody, just hang around, just have a good time. And around this time. He going through the situation. He's getting ready for Cotto. Mm-hmm. It's the Cotto fight, so he's getting ready for Cotto. And at this time, him and old girl break up. I guess
Miss Jackson.
Miss Jackson, they break up. And I've known her for a while. She's from Florida too, so I know
really.
Her yeah. So I known her for a while. My partner, still my partner now to this day, man. She good people, so. I have a few of these Soul Food Sundays, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened, with the situation. I wasn't in the end of what was happening. And then, her and some friends pop up at the house just to, just to chill. And, they came to see me just to make sure I was cool. And, they just, moved around. And then, I get a call. I get a call from a friend of mine's. Which of course he doesn't know, but I know everybody. Which called me and was just like, hey man, Floyd heard old girls at your crib. And this is like, and we've already had situations in the past when it came to women. You know what I'm saying? Back
you and Floyd?
Yeah, we just had just little situations. You know what I mean? So he said, yeah, I heard that he was at your crib, blah, blah, blah. Man, he want me to call you, you know what I mean? Dude want to pay me to call you to just to hear about the situation, like me ask you questions, what she was doing, what you was da-da-da, what-da-da. I'm like, man, that's my partner. Like, ain't nothing like that. So I said, man, get your money. You know what I'm saying? So
shout out to you.
I said, get your money. So,
that's right.
So he called me. And it was just so raggedy because I can hear the niggas in the background. Hey, man, da-da-da, in the background listening. So, I'm putting a whole bunch of shit on it. I'm putting all types of dope on it. I'm saying all types of bullshit. No, but nothing too crazy. But
you had Floyd pulling his hair out.
Yeah, but nothing too crazy. But even at the time, man, when he was fighting Cotto, he was training for Cotto, bro. You know, I was hearing all crazy stories because, of course, he loved the girl. And, of course, the situation, you know what I'm saying, separated. And it was like, you know, I mean, you know, she couldn't go anywhere because he was sending folks left and right. And I think, you know, he was doing a lot of stressing for that training camp, man, getting ready for getting ready for Cotto, man. And you probably seen the result of that in the fight. But yeah, I think right after that situation, bro, you know, I was getting talks and people were saying that left and right, like, hey, man, Flo want to fight you next. He want to fight you next. I'm like, oh, okay. He in his feelings. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, that's fellas. But there's a lot of shit, man. But like I said, you know what I mean, like even now, you know, we good. Like I said, I've known him for years. And we've always had a cool situation, man. But that's how I feel why the fight went down. It was too much of a coincidence. It was too much.
Well, the last one we got for you, champ, before we wrap it up. Big Nick in the UK says, Eddie Hearn gave Conor Ben son, or rather, Conor Ben is the son. Eddie Hearn gave Conor Ben a 37-year-old inactive Chris Algieri. How would Berto feel if he could have got a call from Eddie to take on Conor Ben? Also, what about Trout versus Berto at 147?
I don't think I know Conor Ben. Is
really?
That
the son of Nigel Ben. He's with Eddie. He's young. He just beat Algieri.
Is that the kid that's been calling out Adrian?
Yeah.
Yes. And well, I ain't gonna say and Porter, but there was some smoke for the Porter fight.
Okay, yeah. I haven't seen him fight. Yeah, I've been hearing about him and I've seen that he's been calling, Adrian out, but I've never seen him fight. So I don't know too much about it. Trout, that's my guy. Like I say, good friend of mine's. And I doubt that type of situation happens. Like I said, we're really good friends. But anybody else that wants to be on the chopping block, before I wrap it on up. If I haven't wrapped it on up yet.
Yeah.
When you think you'll know?
He waiting on that call,
I'm chilling, man. It's like right now, bro. I'm really chilling. I mean, everybody knows what's going on with me, bro. I stay working. The people that follow me, I mean, they know I got my hands in some of everything, man. We getting money, we having a good time, and at the same time, just doing my best to help a lot of these younger guys don't make a lot of the same mistakes I did. And I just want to see them all just win. I mean, I'm excited. I love it. Like, I love to see. You know what I mean? Like Earl Spence told me one time, we were talking and he was like, man, Bert, man, you different, man. You ain't like these other old niggas. I say, what? He took me out of my thing. He say, you ain't like one of them. You ain't like, these other old niggas. I say, what you talking about? And I had to process it. Because, I don't walk around, real bitter about the game because a lot of guys that retire or a lot of guys.
How could you be?
A lot of guys at the end of their career, it's like they real bitter about the game. They feel some type of way and, they hate the way it finished and of course they pretty much.
Or how it played out.
Lost everything and, this promoter did me wrong, this manager did me wrong and lost all my money and now once the fight game was over, they don't know what to do. They looking crazy. Like, no, bro, like, no. You know what I'm saying? I ain't bitter about the game. You know what I'm saying? It played out, a lot of it played out exactly like I wanted it to. But, I had some situations happen. But, listen, man, I come from nothing. You know what I'm saying? I come from nothing, man. So I appreciate this game for everything that it's given me. And I'm glad that, when it's time, I can walk away with all my faculties. And I'm one of the guys that understands that life does not stop because boxing is stopped.
Exactly.
This shit is a platform to move forward and do something else great. You understand me? Like, use all these relationships that you guys have. You guys have, you guys are young boxing stars. All these celebrities, all these businessmen, all these this and that. They're walking up to y'all left and right, want autographs. They want to be your best friend. Grab those relationships, hone those relationships. Take these guys out to dinner and let's talk some business. let's talk some business, because this fight shit is not going to last as long as you think it's going to last. Hone these relationships, build something outside the game, start putting shit in place. And you know what I'm saying? Use the game for what you need to use it for, or it's going to use you like a motherfucker. You're going to be looking there crazy. You're going to be looking nuts.
Fact. Super duper last one now. Super duper. Just came in from Louisiana last minute. Jerome says, actually, this may not be Louisiana. Jerome, not Jerron. So this Jerome, he says, hi, Berto and TBV. Berto, can you explain, and you might not have the answer for this, Berto. This is
I got all the answers.
This is me interjecting. This might be a Sylvia or a Sam question. But Berto, can you explain to the fans the increase in pay-per-view with PBC?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Secondly, do you foresee PBC signing a new deal with Fox? And lastly,
why do they
3 and 1.
Why do you think I'm Al? I don't listen.
Bruh, you've been saying for 2 days how much you talk to Al. That's it. They want you to get them answers.
Al probably call him, hey, Berto, how much you think I should charge for this pay-per-view?
Yo, let me find out Berto the one priced the fucking pay-per-view.
I'm gonna have to text
He like, yo, Al, man, the streets talking, man. Let's do this one for 40 on January 1st.
New Year special.
And you know, that's another thing too that I think that he appreciates from me too, because he knows that I'm in
tune.
He know I'm in the streets, so he know I'm in tune. So he can get a lot of, you know what I mean, like information on what the temperatures is, you know what I mean, is looking like out here. When it comes to our culture, when it comes to these young fighters, when it comes to just everything in general, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm very in tune. And I just make sure that he's good, man, at the end of the day.
I know I asked this, but I guess I got to phrase it another. You wouldn't want to be like the B-Hop for Golden Boy, for Al, for PBC, because they don't have a spokesperson. They don't have an Oscar.
They don't.
And Tom Brown, I'm not saying he's bad, but like when Crawford took a shot at him, he didn't know how to respond. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
What does Golden Boy have going on right now? I mean,
they're holding on to 2 fighters. They got Ryan Garcia and they have Virgil Ortiz. And if you're into women's boxing like me, they got Sinisa Estrada and the Olympian Marlon Esparza.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else.
So they're not really
doing nothing.
Okay.
You can't do much with 4 fighters.
Speaking of Golden Boy, it is the Golden
actually,
Boys.
They got Gilberto. They just signed Gilberto a few months ago.
Who they're going to match him up with at light heavyweight.
They're hoping for a Canelo fight.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, I guess they want to do Bivol, too, with Gilberto.
Makes sense.
I'm going to text this guy. So they asked me about you too damn much in interviews, nigga.
He don't got FaceTime?
You know the only other guy that's like you, and by that I mean like is in communication like that, is Ken.
Ken who?
Porter.
Oh.
Ken, he got I don't know if the relationship is as strong as yours, but he got himself a Al Heyman relationship. Yeah.
Obviously Floyd, right?
Of course.
You know,
I don't get those interactions with Floyd.
Sure.
It's like I'm saying for Berto, I can't believe he stood the course. I remember being in DC. I'm interviewing Top Dog Thomas Williams. Floyd taps me on the shoulder. He's walking behind me, taps me on the shoulder like, "What's up, man? I see you doing your thing." I'm like, "You know my interviews?" Like, what? You know what I'm saying?
Man, niggas be tuned in, man. Everybody know what's going on.
Word.
Yeah, these folks be seeing what's going on, man. They know what's happening. Floyd know what's going on too, man. He be in tune. You know, he run around that crazy sometimes, but he know what's going on.
Well, let's get some brunch. Chase, you wasn't here, but I do want to end it audio-less. You know, I know that now it doesn't work because I kind of am saying it.
It's cool though for next time.
But you'll know for next time. So we want to end it and then like maybe 5-10 seconds, you know, as we give our goodbyes, they can still see but like not hear the conversation.
Zoom out, cut the audio.
Yeah, it was something I spoke about with Travis. Go to the wide shot and then we're done though. Peace.
Are we done?
Media, brother.
Hey man, if you don't already follow me, something wrong with you, but
that is true.
It's just my name on all my handles, man. At Andre Berto on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on this and that,
TikTok coming soon. We're gonna get them a TikTok.
Yeah. They need to dive in on the TikToker.
Yeah, we out.
For the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. as always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.